Well, what's up, everyone? So, I kind of just wanted to get on here and talk about my first experience deer hunting public. Um, Now, the place that I hunted in Illinois, it was kind of small compared to other public lands out there. This ground was only like 18,000 acres, which I know it's a lot, but compared to some of the other places out there, it's fairly small. First things first is, and I don't mean this in a bad way towards anybody, but 95% of the people that I saw out there looked to be inexperienced. And the reason I say that is, I would be up in a tree somewhere and I would see people driving around or walking or whatever at prime time. I mean, there was one evening where I was set up in a cornfield on a tree and I had deer moving around and some guy pulled his truck right into the edge of the field 20 minutes before shooting light and bumped all the deer out, and it was a whole mess. So that night got ruined. And another thing is, this place had lots of roads in and out of it, so a lot of people could drive around, and you really did not have to walk that far to get to a spot. And for that reason, a lot of those deer were nocturnal. The buck I ended up shooting, I had walked, I think it was 1,400 yards from the road to get back to where I was going, and I had 50 pounds on my back, so I was pretty whooped when I got there because I did not practice or anything before going on this trip. And I did have some help from a local there, kind of point me in the right direction, which I don't know if I would have shot that deer without that help. Anyways, it helped a lot. I walked back there, and that spot that I found, there was a camera up kind of in the area that I was wanting to go. So I kind of went off the path, kind of got away from that, but plenty of trails up and down, and I ended up rattling that deer in 10 minutes before shooting light in the evening time. And he wasn't the biggest, but my first time hunting public, I was like, I didn't care. I mean, I felt like a little 5-year-old girl shooting her first deer. In hindsight, some things I would have done different is, one, I would have went up there with more than 3 days to hunt. At least have 2 days of scouting, because I went in there blind at first, not knowing anything. I've never hunted the Midwest, but I kind of spent that whole first day wasting time because I was set up in spots that I just jumped into because I ran out of time when I was looking. I saw a deer every sit, but that meaning, the first evening I saw a doe 400 yards away. So it really wasn't that great of a sit. So I would recommend definitely getting there with plenty of days to scout. It doesn't mean you can't jump in a tree while you're scouting, but that really put a damper on time. Most of the people that I ran into while I was out there were respectable. If I was in the spot first, they kind of stayed clear. And if I rolled up to somewhere and they were already there, I wouldn't even get out of my truck. I would just turn around. If there was a truck parked on the county road or whatever, I went to a different spot. And that's what happened when I shot my deer. Is I had originally planned to hunt this cornfield, and I got there and there was a truck there, and the guy was getting out of his truck, so I got out and talked to him for a little bit, figured out where he was hunting, and he was going to the spot that I had planned on going. So I jumped back in the truck, went a few miles away, and jumped in that tree that I ended up shooting that deer on. So it all worked out, but you can't get discouraged if someone's in your spot. You just move and hope for the best. And I know this is a hot spot, hot time to go, but definitely want to go when the rut is, because I don't know if I would have shot that deer if it wasn't rutting. He came into the horns. He came in slow, just kind of checking it out, not really coming in to fight, but I don't know if that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't rutting. So definitely try to go when it's rutting. There's going to be more people there, but the deer are going to be moving regardless, so you just have to work around that. I think the main key points is don't get discouraged whenever you are not seeing anything, and definitely do not get discouraged when you see other people. Like I said, most of these guys out here, I don't think hunt very much or do not hunt at all, and they are just running around trying to find deer from the truck, and that normally is not the case. So post up, get you a good spot, and just wait it out. You are gonna see guys that do not care that you are sitting there, and they will hunt right next to you. That's just something you got to deal with when you're hunting a high pressure area and a small piece of ground like I was hunting. If you really don't want to run into that, find some place that is very large with not that many roads, because the more roads there are, the more people are going to be in there because it's easy access. Other than that, that's just my take on it. I'm not an expert. That was my first time doing it. I definitely want to go do it again. Yeah, I mean, I hope this was helpful in some kind of way, so thanks for watching.